Hello and welcome to Gary Walters InScale update number 13. For all my new subscribers over the last 24 hours or so, I want to say thank you and welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy the content that is displayed on here. I've started several how-to videos. That series will continue on. I've got several projects planned out for the next 3 or 4 videos for the how-to series, as well as hopefully an op session coming pretty soon. I've got a little bit more track to lay down before I'm ready for that, but as soon as that happens, I will have an impromptu op session after I do some testing. So with that being said, I would like to go ahead and say thank you to the following channels. I'll have them displayed on the screen. These are channels that have helped me out. First and foremost, Gary Corbin. I want to say thank you very much for your contribution. You were the very first one to reach out to me and help promote my channel. As of this morning, I hit over 200 subscribers. I am very excited about that, and that list continues to grow throughout the day today. The last time I checked, I was sitting at 216, so I want to say a special thank you to Roy for your contribution last night in your dispatch episode. That definitely helped me out. I have been getting subscribers since your episode last night, and I want to say a special thank you also to the Roundhouse, the community Roundhouse crew. Thank you very much for your contribution, for putting my layout out there as well. And I cannot forget Cousin Vinny for your contribution as well. You were the second one to promote my channel. If there's been anyone else who's promoted me, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. My subscribers have grown. My episode 12, or update number 12, I was sitting right at the line of 100 subscribers, and just within a month I've gained over 100 subscribers. So thank you very much. I am very excited about that, and thank you to all my new subscribers, and please enjoy the layout. We'll jump right in. Thank you. In the last 2 episodes, I've actually had this view on the layout, and I want you to take a look at it, as I have completed several projects down this way, one of which is being the road. I do not have it weathered yet, but it is striped all the way. I finished that up today. It took me a little bit of time, but I'm pleased with the way that is turning out. Also, I have some more trees that I've added in. I've got the ballast thing going down the hill on the left side of the screen there, and I will take you around and show you all the new updates that I've done this month. I'll try to do this without it moving too fast. I've cleaned the track, and at the end of the episode I do plan on taking and running a couple of trains around the bottom loop. And we might pull out the diesel sitting over there by the coal mine. I've done all the striping on the roads. I just finished this striping up a little bit this afternoon. I've got the arrow showing where the trucks will exit out of the loader hopper there. I've added some cracks to the pavement. Like I said, I still have to do the weathering. Over here on D&G Hardware, we have added some parking spaces. And on the hillside, we've added quite a few trees. This has definitely helped tremendously. It's kind of a nice scenery block as the trains are coming around the tracks right here. Adds a little bit more depth to the scene as well. And on the trees, at this current moment, I have 90 trees. I was shooting to try to get to 100 today, but we did not make that. But I am pleased with the trees. And I opened up a box that's been sitting on the layout for those of you that have been on my channel for a while. I opened up my super trees, and I started putting some super trees together today. I'm very pleased with the way they turned out. As of right now, I have 14 installed on the layout and many more to come. I've added quite a few trees up onto the mountaintop there. The bear is getting a little crowded in there. Everything seems to be closing in on him. Alright, and last month, right about where that silver BMW is, that was right about where the ballasting had stopped. Actually, a little bit past that, but the ballasting is complete all the way around the curve here. As you can tell, I've got my corner pieces installed here. I've got all 4 of them in. I've got the rock cuts on the front. And I have some shrubs, and I've got some trees going around on each one of them. I also have the conveyor belt going over the tracks like I'd been telling you guys I was planning on. Here's another one of those super trees. Those are very nice trees. If you get a chance to get some of those, I highly recommend them. They definitely bring the layout a little bit more realism. They're definitely a better tree than the ones that I have the how-to videos on. I definitely need to make some larger ones to kind of blend the heights in. I did a little bit of research today, and the average tree is about 89 feet in height. All my super trees that I have are 80 foot and less. So I didn't go all the way up to the max, but we did put in some height, and you can see the difference between one of my trees and one of the super trees as far as the height goes. It's got a good 20 feet on almost all my trees, some of them even more. I've got some diesels parked over here at the coal mine right now. This is not where they're going to be. I just put them there just to kind of have them out and on display. I'm just doing some testing on the tracks. Everything's working pretty good there. I definitely want to add in some more trees in between the gaps here. Kind of have that as a little view block in between the downhill or uphill, depending on which way your traffic's flowing, in between it and the coal mine and hardware store. I did go ahead, and on the super trees, you've got little ones that will pop off or you'll need to trim off. I use those as saplings. Went ahead and put them right here. I do plan on putting a few more trees down here on the right hand side of the tracks, and several more on the business that's coming up. Now, I told Roy that I had a huge update coming up, and between all the trees that I've planted and 2 other projects that I'm very happy, along with the road painting, I am very pleased with the layout where it's coming. Now, the major part of that is my very first business that I told you guys about 8 months ago about was the chemical company. If you've watched my how-to videos, I've got a chain link fence was my last one that I put out. And that chain link fence goes all the way around, and it's over 600 feet of fencing that goes around KMW Chemicals. I do have an operating gate right here. See if I can get that up there. Now, I do plan on using Thomas Kincaid's idea for opening the fence and having that actually mounted out here on the fascia. And then you'll turn the knob here, and as you're turning the knob, the gate will open up as you turn the knob and then close as you turn the knob. So as you are switching out this industry, you'll have to come in. One of the steps will actually be to open the gate up, bring the cars out, load the new cars in, and then close the gate before leaving. Just an added step to the switching that will take place here. But let's go ahead and take a look at KMW Chemicals, and we'll go ahead and take a closer shot at the fence, since you guys didn't see it all the way completed at the end of the how-to video. Now, some people had asked me about how real it looks right up close to it. I don't know about you guys. I do have a little trimming along the tops left to do. Been working pretty feverishly trying to get everything done. But overall, I am very pleased with the way it turned out. That is a 10-foot high fence. I do not have any barbed wire or anything at the top of it. But overall, I am very happy with the way it turned out. Like I said, it does go all the way around the building. Stops at the storage tanks there, or the loading tanks. Goes down past the storage tanks back here. And then comes down past the tanker cars back here and back up to the gate that opens up for the track. Like I said, that is 600 scale feet, actually a little over. It's about 610 scale feet of fencing. And I do have, a lot of you are probably wondering where in the world you get into this place at. This is actually the gate that'll open up, and they'll let the employees in. I also did the piping. I used more paper clips, and I used throw rods from the Taurus switch machines. And then I took, for each of these red valves, those are actually sewing pins that I took and I cut the tops off of. And they're low profile, they're not your normal ones with a large ball on them. And I actually painted the heads on them so that they actually look like shutoff valves. And they actually do stand up or glued into the piping. Hopefully that'll show up pretty good. But every tank has a pipe coming off of it. It's all connected and it all goes back with its own shutoff valves. It all goes back over to where the tanker cars are. And it connects over here by this guy, who also has some of the valves to open and shut. Now, originally this kit had a fake light that was right here. I took that and I cut it off this week, and I decided, because it was a fake light and that I do want to try to do some nighttime running, I thought I would try to make my own light. Once again, I put the good old paper clips to use. And this is an operating street light. It shines right down onto the tank cars, which I'll have this one out of whack a little bit. We'll put it right back to where it needs to go. But I have that light. I have this light here by the guard shack. And I have one that's right over the top of the piping. Now give me just a moment, and we'll kill the lights and take a look at it lit up at nighttime. Now the lighting is completely out, and the only thing that we have is just the street lights that are plugged in. We have the engine lights that are on, and the lights to the coal mine and to the hardware store. All the lighting on the layout is tied to one circuit right now. I probably will have 2, maybe 3 circuits total when that's completed. Let's take a look at this. It definitely lights up right where you need it to for the tank cars. It's kind of zoomed in kind of close there. Hopefully that'll stay in focus. kind of pull back, do an aerial shot. I wanted to make sure that the lighting on this wasn't flooding the layout. I definitely didn't want it to look like daytime running, so I kind of spaced the lighting out where I thought it would be, which the guard shack, the loading of the tank cars, and then over here on the piping as well. You can kind of see the fencing material kind of glittering in the light there. Let's take a look at the piping real quick. Figure that way in case anybody needs to come over here and turn on or off any of the valves to any of the tanks, they'd be able to. The only thing that I have left really on the peninsula is placing a few more trees and then also adding signage to the buildings. And I'm very pleased with the way these street lights turned out. I will more than likely be making a how-to video on those in case anybody's interested in how I did those. And then I will be placing some of these along the road that goes down to the hardware store and to the coal mine, as well as putting probably a few out on the coal mine and a few out on the hardware store to kind of light those scenes up a little bit more. Seeing how we have them lit, let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick. You can kind of see the engine lights glowing in the dark there. And that's standing way away from them. I say way away, it's 7 feet away. But in N-scale, that would be a long ways away. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I've got these two short trains that are over here. They're going in the same direction even though they're facing away from each other right now. I have one giant loop that goes around the room and goes through the two auto reverse loops. So with that being said, I'll cut the trains on and we'll do a little rail fanning and then I'll see you on the next update. I look forward to seeing you at update number 14 or on my next how-to video. This is Big G's Railroad and thank you for tuning in.